Hi, everyone. Agnes here. I've got an interview for you. It's with Julia in Sydney, and it's a work-related interview that I just read out the other day. Hello, Julia.
Good evening from Sydney. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how the opposite, where the last interview we did, it was summer morning my time and it was winter evening your time. Now it's the opposite.
It is. And we're both still in the same rooms that we were in then.
Oh, I know, right? How hilarious is that, huh?
Yeah.
How time flies.
It does. It does. I'm really excited about this interview because you went through quite a big journey of applying law of attraction and all sorts of different things, which you will talk about. So do you want to take us back to when you didn't have a job and what was going on, a bit like what you shared in the story? You go back and start where you want to start.
Sure. Well, I mean, I won't share the whole entirety of my whole situation because obviously I explained that in the
Yep.
story that you've read out. So obviously you'll put the link down below for
Yep.
anybody who didn't get to listen to that. But I will touch on what happened from the events of the beginning of 2021 and the whole 5 months as to like where I am now with my job. So in my mind, I knew that, when I was getting let go of my previous job, I knew that I could easily, find a new job and that somebody's going to take me in and they're going to see my amazing qualities. They're going to see my eagerness to learn, my positive attitude, my qualifications, my soft skills. They're going to see everything about me and they're going to just know that I'm an asset to any team. So I just said to myself, you know what? I'll see what happens. Just apply for whatever job comes up. And actually, there wasn't that many jobs that came out around Christmas and New Year's because everybody's on holidays, and there just wasn't much around that time. So, nevertheless, I just applied for them. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy the summer off and just take that time for myself just to recharge and relax. Because, when do you ever get a whole summer off? I mean, I still had my supermarket job that, was actually giving me very irregular shifts. And, because I'm an older casual, because of my age, I wasn't getting very many shifts in my supermarket job. So, a part of me was okay with that. But then also I thought, like, well, I don't want to be, I want to get a few more shifts just to at least get a bit of pocket money just so that I can, go out and, buy a drink or, go out and have a meal at a cafe, just a little bit just to, get me by. And for me, it was okay because I still live at home with my parents and my sister. So I have no, issues about rent, paying for bills. So I had none of that to worry about. For me, it was just more of a social aspect. So during that time, I ended up going away with my boyfriend. We ended up going down the coast 4 hours away, and we had a fabulous time, just relaxing and enjoying the sun and swimming, doing some wonderful activities as well. And then I just applied and I let it go and just waited for responses. Some of the employers weren't even getting back to you. Some would even like say, oh, thank you so much for your application, Julia, but unfortunately we found someone with better for qualifications. And even though I had 1 year experience and a better portfolio to back me up, it was like a stab in the guts for me because I thought, hey, I have at least 1 year experience, surely that's going to get me at least a better chance of finding a job more quickly. So
Julia,
anyway,
just tell people what your training and your qualification is.
so I studied a Bachelor of Design Computing over at Sydney University. It was a 3-year course. So it actually takes you under a massive umbrella of design skills. So you could do 3D modeling, web design, graphic design, visual communication, UX, UI design, product design. There's so many different channels you could go down. And then I just ended up falling into content slash visual design because I wanted to get my foot in the door, and I just sort of said, what, I'll see what experience is going to take me down. I did have a kind of like sort of an interest as to what I liked. So I liked UX UI design. I also liked content design. So I was happy to enter any of those avenues, and I ended up falling into content design as my first job.
Mm, lovely, lovely. So, just to get a bit of information about what were you doing in terms of any, were you doing any techniques? Were you doing any meditations? Were you visualizing? Were you affirming? At that point, looking back at January,
Yep.
were you doing as a regular practice?
So I was doing a lot of, affirmations for myself. So I just kept saying, I'm wanted, I'm good enough, I'm chosen, as in chosen for a job in
Yeah,
that sort of aspect.
yeah.
And I kept saying to myself, hey, the new job's coming, the new job's coming, the new job's coming. And I was, getting myself excited about the fact that, hey, the new job was going to be coming. I didn't care
Mm,
too much about the time frame, just as long as, I really only cared about a job that was, way closer to home. There's a
mm,
shorter commute, good boss, good salary, good team members, and just great benefits. That's all I really really cared about.
yeah.
Um, and so with my previous job, unfortunately, some of the other colleagues that I worked with also ended up letting go 3 months later. This was around about end of March, early April. Now we're talking about, and some of my colleagues ended up finding jobs so quickly. Like I'm talking within like 2 to 4 weeks, and they only had a couple of weeks notice. So in my mind I thought, how come everyone's getting jobs so quickly? And I said, what about
Yeah.
me? I've been off since the end of December. Like, universe, really? Like, come on. And I said
Mm,
to myself, no, come on, the perfect job is going to come at the right time. You don't need to worry, just sit back, relax, continue living your life and continue doing what you're doing. And
mm.
it's just going to come up when you least expect it, which it ended up doing, because I went and saw my old speech therapist, which I mentioned in the story, and I was just saying to her about the whole job situation, that I knew the new job was coming, and I kid you not, and yes, not even 1 hour later, I get a call from a new entertainment and luxury venue saying, "Hey, would you be interested in a telephone interview?" And it all started from there. So the
Mm.
actual recruitment process from start to end was about 2 months. So I
Yeah.
applied for that particular job end of March, and then the whole recruitment process, doing the telephone interview, the virtual interview, background, police, reference checks, to getting hired, took 2 months really. So yeah, and I started the new job 2 weeks ago, which I am super happy about and super
Yeah.
grateful. And yeah, the only really things I did were just the affirmations. I did your job meditation sporadically, the meditation for the
Yeah.
job or the work that is coming, which I'm sure you'll put down in the description below as well, for people who want to listen to that. And that's all I really did. And I just, let it all go. And, I just
Mm.
continued living my life in the present day right now, what was in
Yeah.
front of me, spending a lot of time with my boyfriend, because,
Yeah.
we hadn't had full jobs at that time. So that was something I was super grateful for, was spending a lot of time together, and he was
Yeah.
really appreciative of that as well. So we got to do a lot of things together, which
That's
was really
great.
nice.
And it was summer in Sydney at that time, the
Yep,
great months, December, January, February, which is such a great time in Sydney.
it
That's
is. Yeah.
so good. It's so good. And you have also jumped massively in your salary.
Yeah, I know. Do you remember how I told you when, we were driving to, was it the markets we were going
The
to?
fish
And
market.
yeah, the fish markets. And I pointed out the building to you, and you're like, "Hey, that's your new job there, your future job." So see, you called it too, remember?
Yeah, I remember when we were driving, yeah, just near the Harbour Bridge, Sydney Harbour
Mm,
Bridge. Yeah, that's so
yeah.
wonderful. That's so wonderful. So let me ask you, did you affirm a certain salary or a certain percentage increase, or you didn't even worry about that?
No, I didn't even worry about it. I mean, of course, I was expecting some sort of an increase, after being in the professional industry for
Yeah,
1 year.
yeah.
But when the company told me about what the offering was, I was like dumbfounded, because it's 25% more than what my previous job was. So, hey, I'm winning either way.
That's so great. It's so great. And you're enjoying, now you're doing a creative job with
Yeah.
really obviously interesting people, and you're doing lots of. Can you share a little bit about the tasks, what you're doing in your job, with the bits that you really
Yeah.
love, the stuff that you're learning? What is it that you're doing?
Yeah, so my role in this new company. So first of all, the company is a new entertainment and luxury venue that recently just opened in Sydney, the end of December.
Yeah.
So my role is to actually look after all the food and beverage menus of all the restaurants in this business unit.
Mm.
So I liaise with a lot more people, and it's a massive network of workers, and it's just so many names to remember, so many faces, but hey, my photographic memory is going to get me through that eventually.
Yeah.
um, so basically what I do is I'll get a request from a restaurant saying, hey Julia, we need to change this menu, can you please fix these changes? So I work with Adobe InDesign to make all the amendments that they wish.
Yeah.
Then I send it back to them, and then they say, yep, approved, can you please print 20 copies of this menu? So I actually have to go in our office and print the menus. And it's
Yeah.
actually a really cool setup that we've got. Our printer's easily worth $500,000. Like it's
Wow.
pretty good. So yeah, we have all the facilities needed to be able to fulfill
Mm.
all these requests. And then I let them know when it's ready to be picked up. So that's really the main sort of day-to-day
Yeah.
tasks of the role that I'm in. Sometimes it'll be really busy, and then there's other times it'll be quiet, and I get to sort of, go and make a cup of tea, have a little walk, and yeah, just chill out,
Do
which
you
is good.
how many restaurants are in the whole that because that building's huge. How many
Oh, it's
restaurants are in
massive.
there?
Oh, I'd say there's about 20.
Wow, within the
Yeah, there's
one
a
building.
lot.
And you've got
Yeah.
incredible views of you say what it is because it's amazing views, isn't it?
Honestly, just seeing the Sydney Harbour,
Yeah.
amazing. Like the whole like harbour, and like when I'm walking to work, I just look at the big building and I just feel so grateful. Like, and
Yeah.
on my first day, I looked and I was like, hell yeah, I did it. And
Yeah.
I listen in the morning. I listen to, for those of you watching, if anyone knows The Apprentice with Donald Trump, I listen to The Apprentice theme. So just to get me hyped up, it's like money, 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 money.
Oh, nice,
So yeah, that's what it
nice.
reminds me of. So yeah, if
Mm.
you have not heard of that theme song, please look it up on YouTube. Um, yeah, it just gets me hyped up every day for work, and it
That's
makes
so
me feel
great.
so, yeah, so blessed and so grateful. I mean, all my
Mm.
family and friends were like, oh my God, congratulations, this is an amazing job. Like when I tell people where I work,
Yeah.
and everyone is just,
Yeah.
shocked and surprised and really, really
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, it's great. And can you see the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge from up there?
If you go
Depends which
to
part of the building you're in.
yeah, if you go to obviously the higher levels, you
Yeah.
can see the views, but
Yeah.
a lot of the amenities are all sort of on the bottom levels, like as
Yeah.
in all the restaurants,
Yeah.
and then the rooms are all like
The
higher
accommodation.
up
Yeah.
accommodation. Yep.
Fantastic. It's so great. So
Yeah.
great. Wow. It really just, the more you work on, I think, feeling worthy, because this is
Mm,
such a big jump
yeah.
and at such a young age, really. But it really is you went to university, you learnt the skills, you did the
Yep.
work. So you've got the skill set, but you could have the skill set and not have the self-worth and never get to that job. So
Exactly.
that's what's so exciting is you've been working. How long you been working on your self-love now?
Oh, well, when I first discovered your channel, it's been about a year. Can you believe it? Like it was
Yeah,
literally 1 year,
yeah.
like a week ago. And look at me
Wow,
now.
yes.
Look at where I am now. 1 year later, I'm still in disbelief, like
I
how,
know.
my whole life has transformed.
It's so wonderful. So wonderful. What do you think the best bits of working in that environment are?
Well, the new place of employment's definitely people centered. So every time you walk past someone, everyone's always smiling, saying, "Hi, how are you?" Like the atmosphere and the energy is just so radiating, which is
Yeah.
really nice. Like, and they actually do say, and when I did my induction, they say we are a people centered work environment. So that's what I really loved and enjoyed about it, is
Yeah.
that just the people, everyone there is so nice, so welcoming, so friendly, and you
Yeah.
feel like you're part of a team and you feel like you belong somewhere.
Yeah,
So
nice.
that's one thing that I really liked about that. Oh,
Mm.
and the one benefit is free food every single day at the buffet restaurant. I mean, come on, you save $50 a week just simply on
Yep.
food alone. And the
Yeah.
food is just amazing. I think I've sent you a couple of photos,
You
but
have.
just full
Yeah.
load of plates. And it's like, you never get enough of food. I mean, it's full Greek style. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like,
that's so good. Yeah, the hardest
yeah.
part's gonna be watching you don't overeat.
Yeah, well, that's why I still do my exercise on a daily basis. So, I
Yeah.
go downstairs. I have a little gym at home downstairs in my
Yeah.
garage. So I do my little exercises every day. So at
Yeah,
least I
good.
try to if I'm not too
When
tired.
you
But
get home. When you get
yeah,
home.
when I get home, I just do
Nice.
15, 20 minutes, just simply weight
Nice.
trainings.
Yeah.
And that gets me with my exercise.
Yeah, that's great. That's so good. It's because it's such a brand new well, it's not a brand new company, but that location is a brand new thing.
Yeah.
So everybody there's new. It's like
Yeah.
it's only when did it actually officially open to the public?
End of December. So everyone
Okay, so
there has
very
been
new.
since, yeah, 6 months. I'd
Yeah,
say everyone's still
wow.
relatively new. Some have
Yeah.
relocated from different
Mhm.
states.
Yep.
But yeah, most majority of people there are new, which is
Mm,
great.
that's so
I've
good.
come in at a right time, which is what the company's saying, because it's
Yeah.
still new. And there's a lot of things happening as well. So,
Yeah.
everyone's saying, well done. Out of tens of thousands of applications, only 1,600 people are hired.
Yeah, wow. That's good to know you're in that group.
Category, yeah. Exactly. I know, like to feel special and to feel, that
Yeah.
you're worthy and chosen of that.
I'm chosen,
Yeah.
I belong, and I'm worthy, and they picked me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a first best experience, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. You have to feel first
Mm.
best, like to any employer. Like, yeah, well, hey, I'm the best candidate. Why wouldn't they choose me? That's
Yes.
that's that's how I
Yeah.
always looked at it.
Yeah,
And if they
exactly.
didn't, their loss.
Yeah.
Their
That's
loss.
it. That's it.
That's the attitude you have to have.
Exciting, exciting, exciting. So, if you could tell people that are still, because there's going to be some people that are watching this and they're
Of
listening and
course.
they're
Yep.
hating their job and they want to
Yeah.
change and they're a bit stuck, what sort of, say, give them three really good tips that would really help?
Okay, so first things first, and I hate to repeat myself from the last interview, but work on yourself. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're really, hating your job, I mean, you mustn't be feeling really good about yourself and the way
Mm.
everybody's treating you and stuff. Hey, it comes back to everyone is you pushed out. I mean, I
Mm.
think everybody needs to know that concept inside out
Yeah.
because that's the one basis of of these teachings
Yeah.
is how you feel about yourself, your own beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. You is what basically comes back in your
Mm.
everyday life. So,
Mm.
first of all, change yourself and change your perspective on work. Start saying, I love my work. I love my job. Why is everybody so friendly? Use ask formations if you have to. Oh, why is everyone, spoiling me? Why am I getting free coffees all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Why is,
Mm.
everybody wanting to talk to me and invite me out to lunch? I mean, those are just some examples. I mean, you obviously
Yeah.
tailor them to suit your specific situation. So I think
Yeah.
that's super important is you got to be in that right mindset of be going to work every day doesn't have to be a boring mundane thing.
Yeah.
You could go to work and enjoy your job and love what you do, and then it doesn't have
Yeah.
to feel like work. I
That's
mean,
for sure.
look at you and your job, Agnes. I mean,
Mm.
see how you've transformed, your way of thinking and just, starting to say, you love your work, you love the flexibility, you love
Yep.
what you do.
Mm.
So I think that's really, really important to, have that mindset.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's everything.
I think, Julia, too, it's like when you are applying for new things and you're looking at
Mm.
changing, because sometimes you really are in jobs where you just go, these aren't my people anymore. This isn't where I want to be. This isn't the
Yeah.
industry I want to be in. But you go, okay, I'm going to see what I can give to this rather than what I can get from it. Because I think something
Yeah.
happens when you start to hate your job. You
Yeah.
stop wanting to give and you're resentful. So
Mm.
give there while you can, with the view of jumping onto something else, but you've got to clean your energy up where you are.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a specific family member who last year changed jobs 3 times because she wasn't enjoying it. And this
Yeah.
particular family member, so to say, is not really like good on their self-love.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just been reflecting in her outside world, like not just in the job area, but in other areas of her life as well. And you know what? Like, if, like you said, if you, this is point number 2. If you don't like that job, and say if you're in a position to do so, I mean, life's too short to be unhappy. Go out and just, take the time off to recharge and just, relax. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously this isn't for everybody. I mean, if everyone is not in a great position to do so. But I mean, look at me. I had the whole summer off to go to the beach, go have a swim, go for walks, hang out with my friends, my family, my boyfriend, just go out and do things that
Yeah.
normally wouldn't have the time to do. Travel even. I mean, not that we can, go overseas because of Corona still affecting that. But I mean, you can travel inside your own country. I mean,
Yes.
go on a drive. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
like go out and see the nature. I mean, life's not all about work, people. I
Yeah.
mean, just take a break. Like your life is just gonna go like that, and you're gonna think, oh my gosh, like where did all that time go? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
sit back and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Just sit back and just take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Enjoy the present moment right now. I think that's very, very important to,
Yep.
be okay with where you are at this point. You can say, hey, look, the perfect job isn't here, but you know what? I'm going to be okay with it. You know what? I'm going to look at what is going right for me instead of what's not going right for me.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I get to wake up. I'm healthy. I'm happy. I'm free. I have clean drinking water. I have a nice comfy bed to sleep in. I have family and friends that love and care about me. Look at all those aspects of your life. Don't look at the job and the negative parts of it. Always look at the glass half full instead of half empty, as Agnes always says. I think that's important.
I did too. That's good. Hopefully that will help. I will put down below our previous interviews that we've done.
Yeah.
Also the dream job meaningful work playlist, which has got meditations and other success stories and tips and things for people that want to have a look.
Sounds good.
And that's about it. And also your details so people can contact you directly, because I know it's always nice to be able to contact people that have.
Oh, definitely. I'm always open to that.
Yeah, that's great. Any last wise words, my lovely?
Well, there is something I'm going to address, because in our last story, I mean, we had a few comments saying that, you had posted fake success stories. I just want to say, guys, I am not a fake success story, okay? I am coming on here to share my experience, and I know, and yes, I've met her plenty of times, in fact. And you know what? And if you've had a success story, comment it down below. I mean, let people know that, this is real, and this is real stories, real people, real experiences. And you know what, like, that's why I come on here to share my story, because I want to empower those who were once in my position to have that thing that they desire, to attract that job that they really, really want, and to have that relationship you've always wanted. I mean, look at my success story. Look at where I started. I started from, being a little, tiny kid that was, unsociable, awkward, with, diagnosed with Asperger's. And look at me now. Now I, have the whole life I want. Like, people say, when you get to 25, you're in a quarter life crisis. I don't see myself in a quarter life crisis. I am so happy with my life right now. And there's nothing for me to complain. Honestly, there is nothing for me to complain about, except maybe for the fact that I can't travel. But come on, everything else in my life is like magic. So exactly. So I just want everyone to know that.
Julia, look at me now t-shirt.
I'm sure Lorna Jane will end up having one somewhere. What do you reckon?
Ah, look at me now. Look where I was and look at me now. That's so
I
good.
mean, hey, I mean, look, I'm wearing a top that says the hungry caterpillar. It's literally the same analogy. So, after the
Yeah.
hungry caterpillar becomes a fatso and eats all the food, he then transforms into a little cocoon and then becomes a beautiful butterfly. So
Yeah.
I look at myself as having that nice analogy. So
Yeah. That's
yeah.
it. That's it. Now, you and I are going to be doing another interview. So, do you want to, because you've got another really good success story, do you want to give
Yeah.
a sneak peek?
Okay, so I will be shortly giving a update on where me and my beloved SP are. Yeah, 6 months after, I shared my interview. Was it 6 months when we did the interview? December 2020? Yeah, six
Yeah.
months, post interview, just to see, the whole "where are they now" segment. So we will be doing that shortly.
Where
So
are they
stay tuned,
now?
folks.
And that's a really wonderful story too, because there's been lots of transformation there.
Yeah,
And yeah, I'm not going to
indeed.
say anything because
No,
that's for
all
another
this.
day. That's for another day.
All the updates anyway. I mean, you get to take photos and little bits and pieces. So
Yeah, it's good. Well,
yeah,
thank you for coming and sharing your time, your just how you've applied this stuff, because it is about application. All this stuff's just
yes,
knowledge on paper unless you put it to use and you do
absolutely.
something with it. So, thank you, Julia.
You're welcome.
And
Anytime.
yeah, it's great. It's great. And I will. Do you want to say goodbye to people, and then we'll say bye in private?
Sounds good. See you, everyone. Go out and attract that job. Yeah. Remember, you're badass, confident, sassy, and any employer is going to want to have you. Ciao, ciao.
Beautiful. Bye, everybody. As always, you know where to find me.